This is the new version of the popular R36S console featuring the new Panel 4 screen, and here is the original R36S, which I bought back at the start of 2024. Except for the plastic color, these consoles look almost identical, but are they really that similar? Let's find out together. In this video, we'll unbox the new version of the console, compare it to the original one, check out the software, test a few games, and I'll also share the most important steps you need to take after buying the console. But first, let's take a look at the technical specs. The R36S console is powered by a Cortex-A35 processor. Its graphics are handled by the Mali G31 MP2 chip, which is known for its energy efficiency. It comes with 1 GB of RAM, a 3.5-inch display with a resolution of 640 by 480 pixels and 2 microSD card slots. The battery capacity is 3200 mAh. The R36S runs on Linux with the ArkOS interface. This is a crucial point because right now there are many copies and clones of the R36S on various marketplaces. These consoles typically run on custom firmware or can deliver the same performance in demanding games. The reason is that the R36S is incredibly popular among retro gaming enthusiasts, and the original version of the R36S with the first version screen is no longer sold. Finding the updated version with the new Panel 4 screen and ArkOS can be tricky among so many clones. Even some of my channel's viewers and subscribers have accidentally bought a copy of the R36S without realizing it. Now let's compare the old and new packaging and unbox the console. The old box is black with purple accents, while the new box is blue with the purple console featured on the front. The font has been updated to look sharper, and the icons have moved from the bottom to the side. On the side of the new box, you'll also see more console options. I picked the blue version with white buttons and 128 GB SD card. The back of the box still lists the main specs, including Bluetooth and Wi-Fi modules, though these features are only supported by USB-C adapters. Let's unbox the console. Along with the console itself, the package still includes a USB Type-A to USB Type-C charging cable, a manual, and a screen protector. On top of that, they also sent me a small box containing 2 sturdy tempered glass protectors and a white carrying case. Inside the case, there were also some analog stick caps. You'll find a link to this additional protection kit in the description box. The console is packed in a white bag with soft padding on top. The packaging quality hasn't changed, it's very secure. Let's peel off the screen protector and power up the console. As you can see, it's running ArkOS firmware, which is great news. Now let's take a closer look at the console itself. Its weight is slightly different from the old version, about 4 to 5 grams heavier. But you won't notice this when holding it. The device feels nice in hand. The plastic has a slightly matte texture, but visually it looks the same as my white console. The front has matte white buttons, identical to those on my white console. They're comfortable for gaming, and I've played many games on this console, including Half-Life, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and GTA Vice City. The D-pad also feels the same, standard and moderately responsive. By the way, diagonal inputs are registered when you press 2 perpendicular directions simultaneously. What did surprise me a bit are the analog sticks. They feel slightly smoother and softer to move. They also have a slightly rubberized texture that feels nice to the touch. The start, select and function buttons haven't changed at all. I even feel like swapping all the white buttons onto my white console to create a minimalist, exclusive version. Other auxiliary buttons and shoulder triggers remain the same, as do the USB Type-C ports. It's still a great, compact console for retro gaming fans. Essentially, these are 2 identical consoles, except for one key difference: the screens. My white console has the original first version screen, while this blue console features the 5th version Panel 4 screen. Let's power up both consoles and compare their screens, specifically how they render colors. I've prepared a special video for this test. To me, the original screen on my white console displays colors less naturally, with noticeable distortions in red and orange tones. The new console screen shows colors more accurately. That said, the differences are so minor that if you don't compare the two consoles side by side, you might not notice them. And before we continue, please like and subscribe to the channel. And leave a comment. This helps me promote the channel. Also, you can click the bell icon, so you don't miss any new videos. Thank you for your attention. Let's continue. Now, let me tell you what you should do right after buying the R36S console. First, replace the default SD cards with high-quality branded ones. The default cards are low quality and can fail at any moment, which could result in losing all your games and save files, or even render the console unusable. Here is a table of comparable SD cards. Feel free to take a screenshot. You'll also find a more detailed table in the description box. I personally use a 32GB SanDisk Extreme for the ArkOS firmware and a 64GB Samsung Pro Plus for storing my game library. Next, you need to install the latest ArkOS firmware on a new SD card. I've already prepared SD card with the ArkOS for the Panel 4 screen version. I have two videos on my channel explaining how to install ArkOS firmware, one for Mac users and another for Android phone users. These step-by-step guides make the process easy. You'll find the links to these videos in the description box. I also installed my custom theme on the console, because I like its minimalist style. If you want to support my channel and get this theme for your console, you can buy it on my Gumroad page for the price of a cup of coffee. The link is in the description box. After installing the firmware, you'll need to copy the game library from the default SD card to the new one. It's a simple file transfer process, but first format the new SD card for games to exFAT. Then insert it into the console, go to Options, Advanced, and at the bottom select Switch to second SD card for ROMs. This will create folders for different systems on the second SD card. You can then copy your game library to the corresponding folders. I also have videos covering this process, linked in the description box. It's crucial to replace the SD cards in your new console, and I highly recommend doing so. If you're diving into using your new device, check out my quick start guide covering the basics of setting up and using the R36S. The link is in the description box. Now, let's test a few classic retro games and see how the console handles them. Darkwing Duck for Nintendo works flawlessly and is an absolute joy to play. Next, Aladdin for Sega runs beautifully. Batman for Game Boy Advance is another favorite of mine, offering smooth gameplay. Splinter Cell for Game Boy Advance performs perfectly. Tarzan for Nintendo 64 delivers amazing results. It's a lot of fun to play. GTA Vice City Stories for PSP is one of the most demanding games for this console. With optimized settings in the PPSS-PP emulator, the game runs quite stably. On this processor, it typically delivers between 18 and 30 FPS, although in more demanding scenes, the frame rate can drop to 10 or 15 FPS. Games for Portmaster, like Half-Life and GTA Vice City, run consistently well, providing a great gaming experience. To sum up, the R36S with the new screen is a better choice, because its colors are more accurate. Otherwise, it's the same fantastic console, loved for its affordability, good software, strong community support, and customization options. You'll find the link to the console in the description box. As for my personal opinion, this is still my favorite console. I've spent more time playing my retro favorites on this than on my PlayStation 5. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I wish you pleasant nostalgia and successful completion of your favorite games.